Welcome back! Today we're revisiting how to fold dresses. I have been in the lab practicing a lot for you guys, so I hope you're ready to watch some random Norwegian guy fold dresses for you. I'm going to show you 5 ways that you can do it. I'm going to have a look at some ways that you can fold them for storing at home to avoid creasing. Then we're also going to have a look at some ways that you can fold them for travel and some great ways to hang them. A couple of tricks there at the end. So let's start out here by doing the flat fold. That's the classic way to fold your dresses, to stack them on top of each other. What I want you to do is zipper up anything there is to zip up, and then we start by placing the dress with its back facing up like this. Now, one thing to note here is that if they have a lot of flares down at the bottom or at the arms, we will need to fold them in a little extra, but I will mention that as it comes up here. Split the dress into 4 parts down the length of it. So let's start by folding it in 1/4 of the way here on both sides, like this. Now I will mention, if there is a lot of flaring down the dress, you can fold it in a little bit. As a rule of thumb, I would like to say if it passes around the collar area on the other side, you should fold it back. Otherwise, just leave it as is. This is like on the limit of how far I would let it go. If it goes any further than that, definitely fold it back a little. So repeating the process here on the other side as well, folding it in. So you can see the dress lines up nicely here. The next step is that we're going to fold in the arms as well. So the way that you do that is fold the arm over to the other side and then you fold it back like this. We do that on both sides here, over to the other side and then back and down so that it runs parallel down the length of the dress. And again, you can say this dress also has like arms that flares out. So we're going to split the dress in half here, and from the bottom we're folding it all the way up to the top like this. So if you have any adjustments that you want to make here, do it now. This is the last chance. And again, we're splitting in half and we fold it up one more time like so. Ta-da! There you have your beautifully folded dress. If you have dresses that crease up super easily, of course it is better to hang them like this one. So this is a great fold. It is neat. It's nice to stack on top of each other, but it is a little bit hard to like get through this. So as an organizer, I want to show you an alternative that you may like a little bit more. This time we're going to start by placing the dress with the front side facing up here. And you want to make sure that all the zippers are zipped up, all the buttons are buttoned up. So the next thing that we want to do here is fold in the arms. Now you can fold them down like this if you want to, totally fine. If they're not so long, you can fold them over to the opposite side as well. That will work just fine. I'm going to do that with this dress. From here, we're going to split the dress into 3 parts down the length of it. So not 4ths this time. And this time you want to measure from the widest point. So usually the flares, if they're very wide, you can go a little further up, maybe to the waist, but then you need to fold in the flares as well. So you would just do like this, right? So folding it in 1/3 of the way on one side here and 1/3 of the way on the other side as well, like this. Now you can see we have a nice even line running down here. From here we simply fold the dress in half from top to bottom, or bottom to top here. We are going to split it into 3 parts this time. And we're going to fold down from the area with the bottom and the neck of the dress. So we're folding that down 1/3 of the way, or you can undershoot it slightly less than 1/3 of the way. And then over one more time like this. And then, ta-da! You can stand it up on its own. Beautiful, right? So you can stack multiple dresses next to each other. It's nice if you have a little bit of a box or something to place them in. At least place multiple ones next to each other. That way they give each other a little bit of support. Obviously, this is really nice for keeping in your wardrobe. By the way, I have a cheat sheet that you can download if you want to see how to do this step by step. Organizing.tv/free. Pick it up there. Welcome. I just remembered that we also have this camisole that we need to fold. Generally, I think you can just fold this in with the dress. I can show you that on the next fold. But if you want to fold it on its own, it's as simple as folding it in 1/3 of the way from one end and 1/3 from the other end, like this. Now I want to lay these straps down nicely so they don't get damaged. So in half from bottom all the way up to the top, like that. And then we split it in 3rds. And again, we want to start from the end with the openings, to kind of get those folded into the entire thing. And one more time, like that. And there you can stand that up as well next to your dress. If it has any trouble standing on its own, what you can do is kind of press it in a little bit and then downwards. And that should generally help it stand up on its own. So as you can see, if you place these next to each other, they look great. You can even press them together so they give each other a little bit of support. Yeah, I want to move on to a fold that's great for travel here. I think that will be something that's really useful for people if you want to take it, for example, in a backpack or in your suitcase or something. So again, I'm starting to fold in the arms from side to side. So from there, I just want to prove my point here in that you can lay the camisole inside the dress as well, like this, and then you can fold it up. And you kind of have it at the same place. But let's take this away now so we don't make a mess. So I'm going to fold it in, let's do 1/4 of the way this time. So I'm folding it in 1/4 of the way on both sides. Again, if you have this pesky flares at the bottom, you may want to fold it back a little bit as you do this. And then from the top, we roll it gently down. Now what's so nice about this fold or roll is that it kind of prevents creases, especially if you're a little bit careful with it. So if you have dresses that crease up easily, like the one I have hanging here in the background, obviously it's always going to be better to hang them. But generally, this is the best you can do if you're going to bring it somewhere and you are not able to put it in a dress bag. So here you can see it's nice, it's small, it travels nicely. One thing I will say though is that it doesn't hold together as well as you would hope. So an alternative we can do to this is what's called the Ranger roll. It's the one I use a lot in my block rolling system, if you're familiar with that. Essentially, what we do here is at the bottom, we're going to flip it underneath the dress. So let's say 6 inches for a dress like this. This is about a knee length dress, I would say. Now for this fold, you may want to adjust it depending a little bit on how thick your dress is, how big it is, or how short it is. So if you have a shorter dress, you could probably reduce this down to maybe 4 or 5 inches. If it's a really long dress or a really thick one, you can probably go all the way up to 7 or 8 inches as well. From here, we're going to split it into 4 parts again. You can do thirds as well if you want to, but let's do fourths since we did that on the previous one. That also affects the length here, by the way. If it's thirds, it will be a thicker roll, so you need to compensate by adding a little extra fabric at the bottom. Okay, enough about that. Let's start rolling it. We roll it from the top all the way down to the bottom. Now you can roll it up a little bit tighter here. You don't want to do this fold with your nice dresses, as it will kind of crease it up, like I said. Once you made it to the bottom, you lift it up here and you flip it over the roll on one side like that, and you turn it around and you repeat the process by flipping this part over the roll on the other side as well. Now from here, you probably want to stick your thumbs in there, adjust it a little bit, give it a nice little Norwegian massage, you know. And yeah, there you have it. Beautiful, great for travel. I usually do this with all my clothes. Again, you can place camisole if you have one inside here, not a problem. You can place t-shirt, whatever you need inside there as well. And you have kind of a day roll going. So lastly here, I want to show you how to hang the dresses. And I will say that hangers with wide ends here or wide shoulders will be better for your dresses, especially the ones with sleeves. If they're sleeveless, like this dress, something thinner like this will work well too, since there isn't really going to be a lot of piling here. Also, depending on how stretchy the fabric is, affects piling a lot. Generally, try to stick to these wide ones if you can. If you don't have one, it's not that big of a deal, but it will be better for your dresses over the long haul. How you hang your dresses, you open up the dress, put the hanger in at the shoulders, zip it up. That's the classic way to do it, right? Everyone knows that. Alternatively, if you have a very long dress that you can't fit in the closet, maybe due to length restrictions, what you can do here instead, put it a little bit above the waist, as that's where the dress is thinnest and it won't wrinkle up at the sides. That way you can lift it up and you see it's a lot shorter. Another cool thing that you can do if you don't like that, perhaps you're afraid that it will crease at the waist, is to take one more hanger and you place that like you normally would at the shoulder area. Zipper that up, and you can use 2 hangers. See, then it gets a lot more support there. Pretty cool, right? And you can adjust this. You can pull it further down if you want to. Just keep in mind that it may crease up a little bit at the sides. So that's a lot of dress knowledge here. And again, if it's crease prone, it will usually be better to hang them. But, you know, you may have to weigh it up a little bit yourself. If you want to see a step-by-step guide on how to organize your entire wardrobe, I made this huge video up here that you can check out next. It's going to take your wardrobe from whatever state to now. I'm going to turn it into a neat, organized system through the video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video on how to fold dresses from some random Norwegian dude. And I'll see you in the next video.